Shalom, welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabad House of Delmer, together with my co-host Mark Ronich of Statewide News Service and jbiztechvalley.com. And we have also two very important guests with us, Executive Director of the Schenectady Jewish Community Center, Mark Weintraub. Welcome, Mark. And we also have, and you'll explain your role as a shliach, what that means. It's a Hebrew word, and maybe our viewers don't know it. Name is Martin Abadi. Welcome, Marty. Is that, can I call you Marty?
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the Jewish View.
All the way from Israel. This is
All
one
the way.
way.
What part of Israel are you?
I am from the center, from the Asharon zone. It's 10 minutes from Tel Aviv, from Raanana city.
All right.
So how different is Schenectady from there?
Well, actually, Raanana is quite nice city, like Schenectady and all the suburbs, and but it's smaller. Nothing like the American type is.
What's your purpose coming from Israel to Schenectady?
Well, that's a very huge question that also I'm answering to myself now when I'm here. But one of the ideas was to bring a little bit of Israeli culture to people that are around, Jewish that are around the world, and not only Jewish people, also people that don't know about Israel. And also to have fun after 3 years of military service. And
you work for the Schenectady JCC?
Yeah. Let me just kind of add to what Martin was saying. The Schenectady JCC runs a day camp with over 300 children, and a teen camp, which is called Camp Galgalim, which is on wheels. So every day they go someplace else. Either within the community, they go whitewater rafting. As a matter of fact, I wish I could register, and go. It's a lot of fun. So I don't know how many years, but the Schenectady JCC has a history of bringing over every year to work at their summer camp 2 community shluchim, emissaries that are recruited to the Jewish agency. It's a very competitive process, and so we get really quality. We get quality Israelis who've either completed the army, have worked in youth work, and really are a major complement to what we do and bring the spirit of Israel to camp.
Marty, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22.
Yeah.
And have you ever been a counselor or with the camp environment before?
No, it's my first time I'm involved in something like this.
So what have been your experience? What have you...
Well, I was excited when I came, and I saw that in the JCC, my role is to bring Israel, to tell about Israel, to see where I can tell some news about Israel, because all the things that are happening now with the 3 kids that were kidnapped, and now
killed.
Now everything is getting warm. So every time I come to Mark's office and tell him all the news about Israel and.
Well, it's interesting because someone, an Israeli, once told me, he says, we've won all our wars except for one, and that's the PR, the public relations war.
Right. Yeah.
Here Israel gets, kidnapped and they do one thing wrong, a little bit off, then everybody's yelling at them. And it's good that it's important that, you can say from personal experience that it really is the most liberal and humane country in the Middle East. And they have to do what they have to do to defend themselves. No one can deny that. But let's go back to Schenectady JCC. Of course, I want to tell everybody I belong to the Albany JCC. I know that it's not a competition for you.
No, we'll honor your membership.
Well, what do you do for rabbis with the Schenectady JCC, or clergy, if not just rabbis, but clergy?
Well, in Schenectady, we have 3, 4 rabbis that are very connected in the community, and we see our role in as the JCC sometimes as being convener. So there's Rabbi Matt Cutler of Congregation Gates of Heaven. There's Rabbi Ted Lichtenfeld of Agudat Achim, and Rabbi Hanan Markowitz of Beth Shalom in Clifton Park, and Rabbi Moshe Mursky, who is leaving as we speak, our community, and from Beth Israel.
And a Rabbi Avram Kelman is coming in to replace him.
That's right. That's right. I haven't seen the headline of that, but I know he's coming in.
I'm here to tell you.
And we're excited.
This is the headline.
And we, as a JCC, have run joint programs with the rabbis. For example, we have a joint Purim celebration. We have a program that we ran. We didn't run it last year. We ran it the last 2 years called Schenectady County Community Learning Initiative, where we brought together all the rabbis under a particular theme. For example, one of the themes is Israel. Each rabbi would teach about Israel from their own perspective, and then we would bring them together as a group to talk about issues, sometimes really difficult issues. And I call it kind of taking off your shoes, sitting on the floor, talking about issues that we are going to disagree or about, but doing it in a way that that is both, respect and kavod to the Jewish people and learning from each other.
Now, what about the Chabad? You have Clifton Park and Schenectady at Union College. Are they involved with the Schenectady JCC?
Not that much.
Not that much.
Not that much.
And I wanted to, what about membership? I know the Albany JCC either gives you free or reduced membership.
Yeah, for clergy.
For clergy, what does Schenectady do for
Well,
membership?
are you looking for a deal here?
He's not a rabbi.
Yeah,
He's
right,
a reporter. I'm the rabbi.
Well, on our board, we have those 4 rabbis, congregational rabbis, are members of our board of directors, and they also receive a membership.
All right, very good.
Part of that.
A lot of things that it's interesting, but again, not to compare, but Albany, Schenectady, I've always found Schenectady's less population, less number of Jewish people, but many services are innovative. For example, you have a Jewish video library, and may put a plug, maybe you should have the Jewish View as part of the
video
library. But no, being serious, I mean, that is a tremendous resource for Jewish education.
Yeah, it's interesting you mention that. So one thing is, our kitchen's under supervision of the VOD, and we have an outdoor pool. There we have a snack bar, and it's more than a snack bar. It's a wonderful place to grab a lunch or even something light for dinner. Under the VOD supervision, the food's great. We have a woman, African-American woman, who cooks Jewish kosher soul food. And I'll be honest with you, we don't have a lot of customers from the kosher community. And it's not a moneymaker. This is not something, but we do it as a community service, and we love more support and people to come. You don't even have to be a member. You don't have to go to the pool. You can order out, and the food's delicious.
Well, you should market it to Channel 6 also. Maybe they'll come across the street to the JCC.
That's what I was thinking about. People want a summer lunch.
That's right.
It's the best kept secret, probably, in the Capital District. You see kosher, where you're going to go, and people just don't know about
Well, the word is out. The word is out.
Well, now it's on the Jewish View.
That's right.
And a million people know
But,
about it.
our facility, we have a 55,000 square foot facility. We're sitting on 25 acres of land. The JCC is 93 years old. It was founded on Germania and Albany Avenue, Albany Street and Germania Avenue, downtown. And the legacy is just amazing. The foresight of the people. I mean, they purchased this land in 1967. There was nothing in Niskayuna, and that's where we sit in Niskayuna, except for SI International, us, and Niskayuna, which I believe was a lot of farmland at the time. And we're still sitting on that large acreage. It's a major community asset. And we've been fortunate with the support of people like the late Bob Ludwig and the Golub family to really turn this into a fantastic place. I mean, you don't see it. When you go down Bulltown Road, you see this little blue sign.
Right, yeah.
People have come down. And I had a visit from a ex-state official, and he said to me, you're the mayor here, right? But it's really a wonderful, wonderful place, and the word's getting out. Our membership has been growing, and
that's very good.
Yeah, people have really started to see the added value of our JCC from many different perspectives.
What's the percentage of Jewish? I worked at the Albany JCC in 1993. And I always called it that it should be the Albany Community Center because there was 60% non-Jewish. Right. But what's the
it's JCC? I would say about 2/3 non-Jewish, and that's reflective of the Jewish community. I mean, I don't have. This is an interesting question because we talk a lot about what is our Jewish mission. I came on board 6 years ago. Actually, it's my anniversary. It's today, I believe. Yeah. Thank you. And what we did was, the first thing I said was, we need to have a strategic plan. We need to have a strategic vision. We need to have a consensus document to move forward. And so we went through a long process developing a mission statement, vision, our principles and action plans and things that we wanted to do in terms of who we are, and especially when working with the board, you want to say, hey, are we doing a good job? We're not doing a good job, that kind of stuff. The one thing in terms of who we are as a Jewish organization and what's our Jewish market, we don't really know. There are no statistics that have really been done, no census of the Jewish community in the Schenectady area. I mean, I can ballpark things, but we really don't know. I mean, I've heard a number of 4,000 Jews. So Schenectady community is not a huge Jewish community, but and in some ways, if you looked at it, if you came down from outer space and you looked at our JCC, you may actually say, why should they even exist based on the market? But we are the largest child care provider actually in the capital region.
Really?
Yeah, we provide, our camp is huge, over 300 children. And so the major legs that any JCC stands on in terms of businesses are really doing well. So if we didn't have that relationship with the Jewish, non-Jewish community, I don't know if the JCC would be around.
That's always really, I guess maybe our viewers should really realize also that when you're talking about in 1910, 1920, people needed Jewish Community Center because the Jewish people weren't so accepted amongst the non-Jewish people. Says, hey, we want to have our own camp, and they didn't feel so welcome. But now after World War II, everybody's accepted. They'll go to any camp. I mean, we see that in Albany and Delmar.
Right.
They'll go to non-Jewish clubs. It's, well, why don't you support? Not that I work for the JCC, but like I say, I'm a member there. And why don't you go to JCC? Well, this is more convenient. They don't just feel an affinity that, hey, I'm a Jew, and therefore I have to belong to
the non-Jewish folks tell me that they like the camp because they know their kids will be safe. They know their kids will be fed well. They know that their kids will be taken care of medically, So the non-Jews have a draw towards that, and the Jewish community, like you're saying, are like, oh, well, they take it for granted, so they go to the non-Jewish facilities. But you're right, it should be supported. The Jewish Community Center should be supported.
Well, I think it's also, when you start talking to the membership, and we're right next to GE Global, so we have a lot of people who literally have come to the United States from India, from China, that have been recruited, their PhDs in whatever their area of research. And when you start talking to people, why are you here? We do on Friday afternoon, we light candles for Shabbat and all that. And the kids go home to who aren't Jewish, they go home and they light candles, and they say, Mom, Dad, can we light Shabbos candles?
Like that, I have a neighbor, I'm in Delmar, and they're Catholic, and he says, oh, happy Shavuos. Now, how many Jewish people know what Shavuos? And I'm looking at them, maybe they're Jews. I don't know. Nothing, Rabbi says we go to the JCC and they teach my kids.
That's right.
About
That's
that.
right. So there's two things there. One is you start asking people why. And they say to you, you're a values-driven organization. And they feel very strongly about the values in Judaism that we, espouse and promote.
That's right.
And look, in a preschool, you're not going to get into heavy Torah study or preaching or anything like that. But those simple values of of Rosh Hashanah and the Chagim and the holidays and what is Shabbat, people really see that as important. And I think the other thing is that I can't quantify this, but I believe that JCCs got into the early childhood education in a strong way, and really have become leaders in that. And you'll talk to people. I know people who from all over the country who've sent their children to JCC preschool. They know that's the place that your kid, regardless age, race, whatever, is going to get the best preschool education possible.
Cleanliness, those are the things that they want. And education is very important with the Jewish religion, so they know that this is all that, that it's there, the package is all there, regardless of that it may be a little bit more money.
Now, there's another piece to this also is, I lived, I don't know if you know, but I lived overseas. I made Aliyah. I lived in Israel 7 years, and my wife came from Romania, so I have kind of an international understanding and flair to my life. And I think that in a way, I've talked to our staff about this. We have a lot of people from all over the world that come to our JCC. It's kind of unique. We also have Capel down the road. So we've got this kind of interesting, eclectic mix.
Capel is Knowles
Atomic Power Plant, which is now Bechtel. It's,
right.
I have no idea what goes
on
there.
The audience knew what Capel was.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah. Believe me, I've never been there. You need 25 levels of clearance.
Right.
But I do know that that people come and they feel comfortable, and our staff is really sensitive to that. And I think that, look, we have people who are on maybe a contract for a couple of years. If they go back to India or they go back to China, and those young children, those families have a positive view of Judaism, it's a good thing.
Yes.
And we're sensitive to that. We recognize that as a goal of what we're doing.
Well, thank you for making sure that happens. Thank you. You should be thankful.
Well, I think, again, it goes together. What Martin was saying is about Israel also. That's in the mix. It's not only Jewish, but critical. Israel, like I said earlier, needs a good PR, and Israeli people are good people. Right. And, you get to meet, to us, it's like, well, of course, what are you talking about? You lived in Israel. I know about Israel. But, if you just read the newspapers, if that's all your big education is from newspapers, they killed people, and people have come to me.
So you talk about Israel. I got to ask Martin.
All right, go ahead.
What are you learning more about? Are you being more religious here than you were in Israel?
Well, actually, with all the food here differently, sometimes you get it less Jewish, but I think so. Yes, I think it's people. Also, the people like me, shlichim, and we have a preparation before, and in Israel, and in this preparation, they try to ask yourself, what is the Jewish? How much are you Jewish inside you, and how much are you Israel? How much you love these things, and there's very important questions that you need to ask yourself before you come to this shlichut, to this emissary.
Do you put on tefillin every day?
Once I do it more, but yes, I'm all the time asking my host families if they keep Shabbat, and I want to try to bring them a little bit more Judaism to their houses. I actually, in Israel, I do go to the synagogue every Friday with my father and my brothers, and make Shabbat and make Kiddush. So Judaism is something I already had inside me.
Now, in Israel, is everything Orthodox, where the men and women sit separately, or?
It depends. You have everything, but you have more Orthodox. You can call it Reforming Orthodox, not Orthodox like
modern Orthodox. They call modern Orthodox.
Modern Orthodox.
Where do you fit on the scale?
I think a little less than modern Orthodox, but at least I have Judaism. I was born in Argentina. I wasn't born in Israel.
So soccer, you must be following the World Cup.
Yeah, now Argentina was playing.
There's a game on right now. We have to go.
No.
He's telling me.
So actually, people that come from Argentina to Israel, what happens to them that suddenly they come to Israel, they have Judaism around them, so they don't need a community. They don't need to think about Jewish thing. When it's Yom Kippur, it's Yom Kippur because nobody goes in their cars and everybody think and talk about it. So people get less involved in communities and less involved in Jewish stuff. And what's important sometimes here is in outside countries, in places that are not Israel, to have a community, to have place that people can learn and still get the Jewish values, because these values are very, very good and very important, very human, and I don't know, somehow we are a religion that survived 5,000 years, so we have something special and those values that is nice to keep and important to.
I always wanted to get an Israeli perspective about this, because I've never been to Israel and it's always been a little foreign to me. I've met shlichim and I've had all sorts of discussions with them before, but I wanted to have it on, part of the program also. So thank you for that.
That's what a little bit is happening with in Israel. You feel Jewish. Shabbat, things are on Shabbat, things are closed down. It's Rosh Hashanah. You just feel it.
Yeah,
Because
but I also hear that in Israel every day the Kohanim are called up for duchening.
Well, that's only if you're in a shul. I mean, I'm
Right.
just talking. Even if
So-
you're not you're in the
Right.
street, you're going to feel something, even if you don't
I'll
practice.
let you know if I go.
I'll go with you to pay for my ticket.
I wanted to, okay, so let's go back to the Schenectady JCC and let's talk a little bit more about what you provide. All right, so you said that you have the snack bar and you have kosher food when you have events, so everyone has to buy kosher food at the event. They can't bring their own food
Yes.
into the JCC.
Right. Yes.
Have you named the snack bar or anything, or is it just called snack bar? Are you looking to have a naming?
Well, actually, it's I might get it wrong, the Grayson
Okay.
snack bar.
Oh, okay.
And so they haven't, so it's been named.
I noticed that everything is sponsored at the Schenectady
That's right.
JCC.
Well, I have to say my predecessor was really good at that. I got to give our Balabatim, the people who've been involved in the JCC for many years. We have a board of directors. We also have a board of trustees who are many of the past presidents. And I want to give the past presidents, a real shout out and a lot of credit to the things that they did and they built, as volunteers. It's really kind of amazing. I mean, you look at these structures that we have that are now major community assets, and they were just a picture in someone's mind and then on paper, and people got involved and said, we want to do this for our community and our families. And it's kind of amazing when you think about it.
What about, I would like to know about the lecture series, which is very important to Jewish education.
Yeah, we have a wonderful, wonderful Jewish cultural coordinator, director, Arit Magnus. And Arit, I don't know what, she does some kind of yoga and she eats some, I guess she has an organic diet. Whatever she's eating, whatever she's doing, I want to get on it because she is just going into overdrive in terms of what she's been doing. She has a film series. We've doubled the amount of people that come. And we were fortunate we had a contribution of a very high-tech screen and a projector. I guess that helps. But it's just been, the excitement about Jewish film, Israeli film has just grown,
So we talked about your summer camps. We talked
Yes.
about early childhood.
That's right.
Your adults and seniors, you have Reiki and massage programs for the
Correct.
adults and seniors.
Yes.
But you have the silver sneakers fitness.
That's correct.
Okay, and you have bridge. You got to have bridge in Mahjong.
That's right. We have I don't know bridge, but we have a duplicate bridge game that's been going on for, they told me 70 years. And Bob Ludwig, of blessed memory, started that when he worked at the JCC. So and they have been going and going, they're going very strong.
You have so many things going on at the Schenectady JCC. It's just amazing. I mean, I just see this. It's just so phenomenal. You look at other JCs across the country, and you don't see this variety that you have from cradle to, not cradle to grave, but,
Well, yeah, I mean, from 6 months to 90 plus years old,
Right.
We see all that in a day. And I have to tell you, I'm very involved in our national association. I've been the co-chairman of our group. We're called Intermediate JCCs nationally. And we're doing a lot of great things. We've come up with a lot of really interesting ideas. My philosophy as a director is, I say to the staff, there are no bad ideas. You have an idea, let's talk about it, and let's go for it. And so the creativity's out there, and we've just been doing some really cool stuff.
So you
and
have
been recognized for it nationally.
You have a Tu B'Shvat fair. You have a back-to-school night and pizza dinner, Hanukkah dinner and art show, preschool parent reception, and then some imaginary trip to Israel, which...
That is amazing. Now, you're going to love this. It's really cool. It's a preschool. The kids go to Israel. So it's like a week-long they get prepped to go to Israel. They have to pack their bags. They actually pack luggage. You should go. You've never been to Israel. You got to come on the trip. And you fly. They actually get in a plane. It's an imaginary plane, and we fly it to Israel. Then they land in Israel, and they take the entire preschool, and every room is a different part of Israel. So one's the Negev. You can go on a kibbutz and you can actually milk, a cow. They have the Western.
A good impression of milking a cow.
Yeah, right. They have the kotel. My cousin was a kibbutznik. So you go to the kotel, and actually the kids write little notes, and they put them in this fake kotel. And one of our staff person went on. There was a wonderful birthright trip for Jewish communal professionals. And one of our staff people, Sarah Mandel, went. I actually told her, you were applying for this trip, I'm standing at the computer until you do. And she went and she took all the notes from the preschool kids and actually brought them to the cotel and put them in the cotel.
That's great.
How cute is that? How great is that, right?
And how many staff do you have for this?
We have about 35, what I would call seasonal staff, part-time, full-time, and then about 200 other staff. I mean, our camp, we have just, how many counselors? You're in the smaller group, but they're everywhere.
70 at least, 80.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing.
But full-time, year-round staff is how many?
About 35.
Wow.
Well, it's full-time and
Part-time.
part-time, yeah.
Right,
I mean, think about it. We've got indoor pool, so you've got lifeguards. We've got outdoor pool that has lifeguards. We've got teachers. We're running
after school.
The after. Oh yeah. The other thing was we have an after school. We run all the after school programs. We have a contract with Niskayuna schools, so we run aftercare at every elementary school. So we've got 5 elementary schools. We have a huge. Actually, I was told we have one of the largest child care frameworks in the country for JCC.
So what's your budget?
We're $3.3 million, and we are in the black. We're doing great.
Well, excellent.
Well, how much are you a not-for-profit?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you gotta you have to be in the black only a little bit.
Yeah, but we're in the black a lot, and the reason is, we don't get a lot of money from contributions enough. I mean, look, our programs are doing great, and so that's wonderful, and that we're able to provide a service that people want to invest in. Our biggest challenges are that we have a building that was built, as I said, 1969. We have a lot of internal infrastructure issues that we've identified.
Well, you said something when I spoke to you about 3 years ago about the furnace or the boiler or something.
Oh, that got
downstairs.
replaced.
Yeah, that was a big ticket.
That was a big, but we've got, we did a survey and we saw just different types of things from, heating and ventilating to the main drain to the pool that eventually will go. I mean, we're talking, looking at 3 to 5 years, probably about $3 million worth of.
Really
so what's the membership from the highest to the lowest amounts that, I mean, I'm sure seniors get a little bit, but what are your membership rates? Approximately. I mean, it's just approximately. I'm just curious.
Probably 40 to 80 a month.
40
depending
to 80 a month.
on the package, because
so it could be about 500 a year at the low end, and 900 on the high end.
Yeah, if you did like a family, like you took a family membership and then you added on the outdoor pool, that's an additional cost. So
it's not bad. Yeah. It's not that for everything that you offer, you have a reasonable price for this.
Yeah, we moved when I first came. We didn't really have. We used to type the membership cards. I bought a Smith Corona. That was fun.
Yeah.
One of the few people that bought a Smith Corona in the United States. And
they were made in Cortland, New York, those Smith Corona typewriters.
That's why they last so long.
That's right.
But we've gone to monthly memberships and swipe cards, and people, that's what they demand and appreciate. But also people like the freedom of not being locked into an annual membership. That, I want to try it for a month, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But what you find is, if you're doing your job right, people are satisfied. And
try it, you'll like
they
it.
continue.
Try it, you'll like it. It's like one of those things.
Yeah. And I hope that we provide enough. I would say our biggest challenge is what are we going to do? One of our challenges, we got a couple of them, big ones. Challenge number one is what do you do in that empty nest or the 50 to 70, let's say, range? So people want to stay in Niskayuna, and you find a lot of their children have left the community, and you find that. I assume in Albany, it's So you've got those empty nesters. They want to stay in Niskayuna. They like it where they are. They want to utilize the JCC. Can we provide enough during the day, enough added value programming? We really, at this point, don't have enough staff. I mean, Albany has a wonderful adult education coordinator, and she does great things during the day. We just don't have that.
Okay.
So that's, issue number one. And the other thing that we're looking at just organizationally is what is our role north, okay? Do we have a role in Saratoga County? I mean, we're very close to Saratoga County. We're staring at it. And is there a Jewish role for us? Is there a role that we could fulfill?
To bring in like Clifton Park. Saratoga Springs has the Saratoga JCC.
Yeah, but that's actually a synagogue. They call themselves a JCC, but that's their name. I mean, we pay net dues to be called a JCC. But I'm saying,
okay,
whatever. I hope that our national organization doesn't find out. But more importantly, what is our role? Is there a need? For example, we know how to run camps, right? is there a need for camp in Saratoga County that we could fulfill? Truthfully, we don't have to go to Saratoga County.
Right.
We don't have a need to from an economic point of view. But if there's a Jewish demographic, if the community feels that there's a need, and there is a growing community there.
There is.
And where is the next JCC? We're there. The next JCC is probably in Syracuse. So I think that's this is the year where we have to at least do our due diligence and determine, do we have a role or don't we have a role?
That's a good way to leave it in the future and look at your future, and may you be around for another 90 years also.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're out of time. It was really great talking to you. Maybe I'll visit you in the Schenectady JCC and
we can work out
there.
together.
Yeah, there
That's
you
right.
go. I do work out all, but people have to know that I'm a fitness rabbi also, not only for the soul, but you have to take care of your body. And I want to thank Mark and Marty. Did everything good. You should be successful in the Schenectady JCC and always with good health.
Thanks
Thank
for
you very
coming.
much.
Appreciate it.